Welcome to this series of 28 guided meditations on dealing with anxiety in the midst of a crisis. My name's Bodhipaksa, and I'm going to be guiding you through this series. And the first thing I'd like to say is that anxiety is normal. It's okay to be anxious. There are parts of our brain that are very ancient, that evolved in order to detect potential threats and to warn us of them. And the way that they warn us is by creating unpleasant sensations in the body. A familiar sense of a knot in the gut, racing heart, shakiness, and so on. And there really are a lot of threats to our well-being at present. So it's not surprising that these ancient parts of the brain are particularly active right now. So I know lots of people that have been meditating for decades that are experiencing a lot more anxiety than usual, sometimes waking up in the middle of the night. And that's been happening to me too. And it really does help to remind myself that it's okay to be anxious. Because one of the things that can happen when we're anxious is that we think we shouldn't be. We might think we should be able to rise above it and to be completely calm. But it's not the anxiety itself that's the problem. It's how we relate to it. Often what happens is we get sucked into it. It's all we can see. We become very tightly focused on our anxiety, and that promotes a lot of mental activity, projecting things into the future, imagining things getting worse, and moving from simple anxiety into worry and catastrophizing. So it can really help if we create a sense of space around our anxiety, so that our anxiety is not the only thing that we're aware of, and it becomes just one part of our experience, and we can just allow it to be there. It just doesn't bother us so much. So in this meditation practice, first of all, I invite you to find a way to sit that's open, upright, dignified, but also a way of sitting that allows you to be at ease. If you want to meditate lying down, you can try that, but the problem is it tends to promote sleepiness. So I'd recommend sitting upright, even if you have to pause for a minute or two to find a way to do that. Usually we meditate with the eyes gently closed. And one thing that's particularly useful in terms of creating a sense of space around feelings like anxiety is to let the eyes be soft. So you can allow the muscles around the eyes to be relaxed. And even though your eyes are closed, you can have a sense that your focus is soft as well. Almost as if your eyes were slightly defocused. Almost as if you were staring into space. So when our gaze is narrow and tight, as it often is, this leads to our inner field of attention being very narrow. And so when we focus on anxiety, it's the only thing we can see. But with the eyes soft and relaxed, you can have an inner field of attention that's more open and expansive. So you probably are noticing, as the eyes soften, that you're becoming more aware of the body. Perhaps particularly the breathing. And you may also notice that you're able to be aware of the body in quite a broad sense. Not as if there's a narrow beam of awareness, like a flashlight beam, just illuminating one small part of the body, one small part of the breathing, but that your attention is more like an old-fashioned oil lamp or a candle that throws light in all directions at the same time. So you're able to be aware of many sensations of the breathing at the same time. You might find that you can be aware, in fact, of the whole body. You might also notice that there's less thinking going on than usual. Or that if thoughts are still arising, which they probably are, it's easier just to let them pass through this spacious field of attention without your getting caught up in them. So it's okay if thoughts are arising. Just keep letting the eyes be soft, letting your inner field of attention be open and expansive. And just allow thoughts to drift through. If you do find that the mind has gotten caught up in thinking, that's okay. It happens. Just keep letting go of the stories that you've been involved in And then as you return your attention to the body, just check in with the eyes again. Let the muscles around the eyes be soft and relaxed. And let your eyes themselves be slightly defocused. To help you reconnect with many sensations in the body and the breathing. And if in this open, receptive field of attention there are sensations of anxiety, they're perhaps now just one small part of your experience. And perhaps you can allow them just to be there. Just checking in with the eyes from time to time, letting them be soft, softly focused. And just continuing to observe your experience in this open, spacious, receptive way until you hear the bell.